I hope I'm not the only one who does this, but there's my car. There she is. And so my neighbors are outside, and I don't want to start my car until they leave because my car is stupid loud and I'm embarrassed. Oh, just a little bit of the cold start. So I'm just waiting for them to go. What? You wanna go for a walk? We'll go in a second. What a good girl. What a good girl. Sit. Oh, who's the smartness? Oh, who's the smart cuteness? Sit. Good girl. Oh, that's a mess. Come introduce yourself. Oh, your name's Yuki. Can you tell them a little bit about yourself? Oh, you're camera shy? Okay. Okay, cutie pie. Oh, that's such a cuteness. Okay, I think the coast is clear. Let's go cold start. I'll be back for you. Give me a second. Today is to drop off this little maniac. Sit. Sit. Drop her off at my parents', and then I'm gonna go film something. I'm not sure yet. She's looking at her leash. I know you want to go. Give me a second. So I'll drop her off. I need to clean out my car, and then we'll film something. I need new wipers because this is not cutting it. Super annoying. I forgot to mention, but a few weeks ago we had a pretty big snowstorm in Toronto, and I was driving home from work and I ended up losing my front lip. I didn't even notice until the next day, and I was like super upset. It just looks so weird without the lip. It looks like something's missing. So I'll end up buying a new one in the spring, but I wouldn't even put it on now because it would probably come off again. But like, it doesn't even line up anymore. It just looks like something's missing. It's so weird. But anyways, so I've decided that today I'm going to film 5 things that I love about my car and 5 things that I dislike about my car. I don't want to use the word hate because this car was like my dream car for like years. So I'm not going to say I hate anything about this car, but 5 things that I dislike about it. So we'll start with the 5 things that I love about the car. So for the first thing on my list of things that I love about this car, it's going to be how it looks. So to me, this car looks the best out of all the cars in its price range. We're not talking about performance or how the car does in the snow or anything like that, just purely based on looks. This car looks the best out of all the cars in the same price range, to me at least. If I knew nothing about cars and I saw this car, I would think it was like fast and expensive. It just looks so good. So looks is definitely my number 1 reason why I love this car so much. So number 2 on my list of things that I love about this car is going to be the fact that a lot of people don't know what car this is. So I work at a dental office, and I've parked my car in the parking lot where the patients park. And patients will come in and they'll be like, "Whose car is that?" And I'll be like, "Oh, it's mine." And they're like, "What car is that? Like, it looks so cool." And I'll say, "Oh, it's a Toyota 86. And they're like, "Oh, Toyota 86, I've never heard of that car before." Or, "Toyota what? What did you just say?" Like, they have no idea what car this is. They've never heard of it before. And they're not a super common car. Like, I'll see them every now and then. Like, I know there's a couple in my area, but like a lot of people don't know what car this is. So I kind of like I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, it's just a very low-key car, and I like that about it. Number 3 on my list is going to be about the aftermarket support for this car. There are so many different parts that you can buy for this car. Anything you want to change out, you can look online and find it, and everything, or most of the things, tend to be on the cheaper side, which is awesome. Obviously there's expensive brands for any car, but if you really want like a budget build and you don't have much money to spend on your car, there's so many parts out there for this car that are really affordable, really cheap, and it's great for people with a lower budget. And then, of course, there's the people who spend thousands on like front lips and side skirts. So you can do that too. There's so many options for parts for this car. The 4th thing that I love about this car is how it sounds. Some people might hate it. I have a muffler delete and a reds delete, so it's very raspy and kind of racy, but I love the way my car sounds. last thing on my list of what I love about this car is going to be the speed, and that's going to surprise some people, but let me explain. So this car makes a whopping 205 horsepower, which is not a lot. It's not a fast car by any means, but it honestly, genuinely feels like a fast car. Obviously, if you're racing a car that's faster than you, it's not going to feel like a fast car. And that's not when the car feels fast. It's like, it just, I don't know, it feels like it pulls. And it doesn't really, but for some reason, something about how the car is like engineered, it just makes you feel like you're in like a go-kart, like a really fast go-kart. And it's fun. Like, this is the most fun I've ever had driving, especially it being my first manual car. Like, it's so engaging and you feel like an actual race car driver. So I can't really speak on if the automatic version feels fast, but the manual is a lot of fun. So in this clip that I'm about to show you guys, I recorded myself driving, and while I was driving, I remember being like, oh my God, like I'm going so fast. They're genuinely gonna think my car is like fast or something. And I'm looking back at the footage now, and it doesn't look like I'm going anywhere at all. Like, it's so weird how it, like, when you're in the car, I can't explain it. It feels like you're going so fast. And then I looked at the footage and I'm like, what is this? Like, that's not how it looked at all. So when you guys watch this clip, just like keep in mind that it's something that you really only experience when you're actually in the car. Okay, so I'm gonna try to drive and like shift and everything with my phone in my hand. You know what? I don't think that's a very smart idea. Let's see. Can I hold it like this? Like, it's not slow by any means. Well, I mean, by some means, it's pretty slow. But, like, for someone who daily drove a Jeep Wrangler, like a TJ, like an old school Jeep, which had like 190 horsepower, like this feels faster for sure, I guess. So now moving on to things that I dislike about the car. I can only speak for the manual version of this car, but the transmission causes some problems. And so I've had a 2015 Scion FRS and this 2019 Toyota 86, and they both had this problem. And so I don't think it's a coincidence, but the clutch gets really squeaky, and I'll show you guys in a second. And also when I'm sorry about the dog fur everywhere. And then with the like shifting gears, the transmission also feels very clunky sometimes. So I don't know if I'll be able to pick it up that well with the shifting gears, but I can show you guys the clutch and show how like the sound it makes. So it'll squeak sometimes when I'm pushing it in, and it'll squeak sometimes when I'm taking the clutch out. Okay, and it doesn't want to do it right now. Great. Okay, let me see. No. Okay, well, of course that would happen. I'll wait and I'll find a day when it's doing it, and I'll show you guys what I mean. But there's a lot of videos on like squeaky clutch and trying to fix it, and people like grease up the bearings or grease up the little like joints inside the car and in the engine bay. So yeah, both of the cars that I've had have done it, and both of them have a clunky transmission when I'm shifting gears. It's like, it happens when you're shifting out of first and into second usually, or if I'm shifting into first, it's a bit like it feels like kind of stuck, like it's sticking, and it's like you have to really push into first when you're first starting off, which understandable, the car's not warm or anything, but that sucks. I wish I could show you. Maybe if I turn on my car. Let's see. It was just doing it too. That's crazy. Okay, I don't know if you guys could hear that, but when I just took my foot off the clutch, it made the noise. Yep. Okay, so when I push it in and then release it, there'll be like a clunk. So the next thing that I'm gonna say I dislike about my car is that the seat, when this lovely lady is sitting in her seat, and I don't plug in the seatbelt, the seatbelt chime comes on, and it's super annoying. I understand that, you know, if someone's sitting in the car, they need to have their seatbelt on, so that's what it's for. But like, even when you have like a bag, sometimes, like my bag, if I put it on my car seat, sometimes it'll make the chime go off, and so I have to reach over, get the seatbelt, plug it in to stop it, and it gets really annoying. Like, let me put on my seatbelt and show you guys what it sounds, or don't put my seatbelt on, that's the whole point. Let me not put my seatbelt on and drive, and you'll hear how annoying this thing gets. That there's nowhere to put your phone with like a traditional phone mount, and even like just like having somewhere to like rest your car. Like this little spot, this is not big enough for a phone, especially my phone. I have the iPhone 11 Pro Max, so I used to have a like suction cup phone mount, and like I didn't want to put it on the windshield because I didn't want to, and I don't think it really fit. Like there was just not enough like vertical space to put it. This bit is like rounded, and there's like a little divot here, so I couldn't put it there, it wouldn't stick there. This part's rounded, so it wouldn't stick there either. I didn't want it here in the middle of the windshield to block my view. So the only solution I found was to get this magnetic phone mount, and this barely fits on. So how it works is it has like a little clip that goes and like clips onto the vent, and this vent's really like wide, so it barely fits on there. I don't even know how it's actually hanging on there because I barely got it to fit. And I mean, it's all right, but like when my car, because of the exhaust, I'm guessing it vibrates a lot, so my phone falls off this all the time. So it kind of sucks. I don't really use it that much. If you guys know of a car or a phone mount that works in this car, let me know, because I've been looking for one. And then like this little cubby here, I just keep my gas receipts in there, because nothing else, like if you want to put change in there, I guess. I don't use cash, so it wouldn't be for that. My phone doesn't really fit in there at all, and so it's kind of useless, so that's why I use it for receipts. And the cup holder, I should have really cleaned my car before I did this. That's crazy. Guys, don't judge me. So if I put my phone in here, I rest my arm in this area for when I'm driving. Like my arm is here and it messes with my phone. So I just kind of toss it, like I'll toss it in the back seats, or I'll just keep it in my bag. Like I have nowhere to put my phone. Are you bored? I know, I'm sorry. I have nowhere to put my phone in here, which I guess is good. No distracted driving. So the actual speaker system of this car is pretty great. Like I have no complaints about it, but this thing here gives me headaches. So I find that if my car's off and my phone, like the little like Bluetooth button is off, so there's no Bluetooth from my phone, and then I turn on my car and then I try to connect my phone's Bluetooth to the car after it's already on, it doesn't want to connect. It only works if my Bluetooth on my phone is on already before I turn on my car, so it like connects automatically via the car, if that makes sense. It's such a big pain in the butt, especially like if you're already driving and then your phone doesn't want to connect, and then you have to like fiddle with the Bluetooth settings and try to get it to connect. While you're driving, I just end up just driving in silence and being very like grumpy about it. And the last thing that I have an issue with, but I really don't mind this one. This is just kind of like a little nitpicky thing, is the sound of the horn. So if I'm driving and someone cuts me off and I need to use the horn, I will not use the horn because it's so like, I have this little like fluff here. Oh, I need to do something about that. Yeah, I refuse to use my horn, so let me show you guys. Like, it's so like embarrassing, like it doesn't match my car. It's so cute. It's cute. It's like a Miata horn. Like I imagine a Miata horn would sound like that. So instead of that, I would just rev my car. If I need to like use a horn, like my feet are already on the gas pedal anyways, so I just put in the clutch and rev it. So yeah, I would just do this instead. Like that's like, it gets people's attention more rather than this little. So guys, I forgot to film an outro, but that was 5 things I love about my car, 5 things I dislike about my car. So I hope you guys enjoyed or found it interesting, or I don't know, I hope you guys got something out of it. If you guys have any questions or comments or recommendations for any future videos from me, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. And by the way, I hope you guys had a great holiday. No matter what you celebrate, I hope you guys had a great time. It's December 26th, so if I don't see you guys before the end of the year, Happy New Year, and I hope your 2023 goes amazing. So anyways, guys, I'll catch you guys in the next video.